Hello, Aquarius. This is Sherri Simpson coming to you from Armstrong, British Columbia. I am here to do your March 2018 reading. And when I was popping in and experiencing your energy, a few things came up. So you are one of the signs who is extremely excited for this upcoming spring that we're having, this equinox that we're moving into. I get the sense that you've kind of been feeling like you've been stunted or hibernating over the winter, and you're one of those signs that just really loves people, and you love to like be on the patio, and you love to mingle and to go out for coffee and to go out for drinks, and I get the sense that maybe you feel like you've sort of been stuck or hibernating over the winter, so you're really excited to get on the patios and to mingle with new people and to experience that interaction with different people and new people, and that's awesome. So you're very excited. I also get the sense that there's two other things that came in around your energy. One of them was about how you expand and you're happy and things are flowy, and then you have this tendency to look down and to realize, oh my God, I'm out of control. Oh my God, where am I? Oh my God, oh my God. And so I get the sense that you can be experiencing maybe some overwhelm and some feeling of being out of control, and some like shifting and some anxiety based on newness and change and expansion. And if you are feeling that, I want you to step into a place if it's a good thing, because right now Jupiter is in retrograde in Scorpio, so you're going within yourself to cultivate your own joy, rather than you always needing other people around you to give you joy or bring you joy or share joy with you. You are totally capable of cultivating that within yourself rather than plucking it from the people around you. You can do both, and you can be in synchronistic and symbiotic relationships where that happens, and that's awesome. But just let yourself know that you're capable of doing that. And Jupiter is going to be retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, which means you're going within inside, you're going deep to cultivate joy. Because Jupiter is about joy and Scorpio is about going deep and going within. So you're doing that until July. We just had a new moon, all about new beginnings. It's connecting abundance with going within. So your sense of abundance may have been different or off, or I still get the sense that spring is going to be a really cool time for you, because abundance is going to shift while Mercury is going retrograde, which happens very soon, and with this new moon that just happened. And so the new moon happened at 26 degrees Pisces, and it happened on the 17th of March. When you add 1 and 7 together of 17, that's an 8, and the 26 is an 8. So the 8s are about abundance, they're about personal power, they're about confidence, they're about you exuding that confidence and stepping into your own personal power and creating the abundance. Joy is going to help you. Jupiter in joy is going to help you as well. And with this Mercury retrograde, it's all about taking action based on what it is that we want, based on what it is that we want to present and provide. And you're one of those signs that's very free and very airy, and you like to do things your way, and you like having people around you, and you like all of these things, which is awesome, because I can see you getting into spring and wanting to build things and change things and do things and connect with things, and that's awesome. But I also get the sense with Mercury in retrograde right now that you are healing some of those things from the past that you may not want to connect in with. So the easier you can make this process, the more you can step into the observer, the more you can acknowledge that these things have served you for long enough, and they've kept you stuck, and they've kept you feeling out of control for long enough that it's now time for you to release them. The easier this Mercury retrograde season is going to be for you, because it's about healing communication, it's about healing relationships, it's about healing the past. And the things that you're healing are the things that have been coming up for you over specifically the last 2 weeks. And that's predominantly what you're going to be healing while Mercury is retrograde. But those things, I feel that if you're not allowing yourself to heal them, that it's going to be as though you have one of those. Have you ever done one of those like CrossFit classes, or seen people do those CrossFit classes where they actually attach a parachute to them and then try to run, and it creates resistance? So I get the sense that if you don't release these things while Mercury is in retrograde, that it's going to slow you down and prevent you from experiencing the abundance and the ability to create and the relationships that are symbiotic, that you really love and you really adore and you really want. So you really want to allow yourself to step into this during Mercury retrograde, because it's going to move you in to the abundance that you desire. And once you're in that space of abundance that you desire, and Mercury has allowed you to heal some of these things, then Jupiter's actually going to expand that for you, because it's going to go within to have you cultivate more of your creativity and more of your abundance and more of your expansion. And I get the sense that you're going to experience, and I pulled 2 cards for you before we got here because I was called to. If you allow yourself to release all of those things that have been sort of niggly and sort of calling, and I get the sense that over the last like 5 to 7 years, there's been a lot of stuff that's been making you feel either out of control or that you've been avoiding, and I keep doing this because it's stuff from the past. And I get the sense that once you actually do spend the next couple of weeks releasing those things and going in and finally dealing with them and healing them, that you're going to be overwhelmed with a sense of relief. That you're going to be like, oh, finally I can move forward without this parachute attached. And finally I can cultivate the relationships that I really want. And finally I can use my creativity in a way that feels really thrilling and really exciting and really like renewing. So I get the sense that this is really important for you to connect into your own energy, and to connect into nature is big as well. I don't normally use these cards, but I was called to pull in some Earth Wisdom for you. So these are Earth Wisdom Oracle cards. And what this card of relief is saying, she has lemon balm in her hand. It's an essential oil. It's amazing for actually releasing issues with like pain and tightness in your muscles. It's awesome connected with one of the mints. I don't think it's peppermint. I think it connects really well with spearmint. One of the mints you connect, you mix lemon balm with some like coconut oil or jojoba oil and rub it on your muscles, and it's really feels really good for muscles and releasing and decreasing stress. So lemon balm that she has in her hand makes things easier to bear. It eases an overwhelming sense of responsibility and lightens a too serious mood. So if you have been feeling like the winter's been feeling like that, or you've been feeling that these things from your past that need to be healed are now ready to be healed, and you're ready to look them in the eye and release them and forgive and do all of those healy-feely things that probably you could have or should have done a long time ago, but you were just, out of control, avoiding, overwhelmed, anxious, whatever it was that you were dealing with. But now you're going to be feeling extreme relief. If you are connected to lemon balm, then perhaps you can use that as an essential oil. The other thing in this card, in the Earth Wisdom card, is that she's wearing rhodonite around her neck as her crystal, and this aids in restoration and recovery. So perhaps the winters actually felt sort of long and drawn out, and all of these things that you've been carrying for the last couple of years, all of these like old relationships and old patterns and anything else that you've been carrying around, your body may be feeling like it's hibernating, but you actually weren't resting while you were hibernating. So rhodonite can actually help you restore and recover, and that will make you feel a relief rather than feeling overwhelmed and anxious. So the message in this card is that you've been carrying a heavy load for too long now. The overwhelming sense of responsibility has grown all out of proportion to the reality of the situation. Relief is at hand. All you have to do is reach out and grasp it. But in order to do that, you must release what you are clutching. So if you're clutching to the past, if you're clutching to old ways, if you're clutching to old emotions, if you're clutching old patterns and old thoughts and old beliefs, then you don't need to carry them anymore. They're just burdens. It's time for you to put them down, and it's time for you to cultivate a new way of being, and a new way of doing, and a new way of thinking, and a new way of seeing. And once you do that, you're going to be so more like free and so more airy, like your sign is. It's going to feel amazing. So one of the affirmations you could use is, I have carried the burden for long enough that it's time to let it go. I release the burden to the divine and accept the relief that comes as I let go. I let myself rest. So that was your Earth Wisdom. And that was from this particular tarot deck from the Oracle. The other thing that came up was a numerology card that came up down. So let's see what, oh, interesting. So the card that came up was Pride. So it may be that you don't want to say that you were wrong, or you don't want to let other people know that, yes, I was holding on to that too long, or yes, that was a partnership I didn't need to carry or continue on for as long as I did, or yes, you were right, I was controlling this or that, or I was overwhelmed for no reason, or I was anxious and afraid for no reason, or whatever it was. But I get the sense that part of this Mercury retrograde is you actually releasing your pride and stepping into a place of this is no longer serving me, and I don't need to be overwhelmed with all of these thoughts and emotions, and I don't need to be feeling anxious about the future because I get to create my future, and I'm deciding to call people in who, as a new beginning and a celebration of the ending that you're releasing as Mercury goes retrograde. This is what the 1 and the 9 would be. You're celebrating that change is now and that you're ready for it. You're allowing yourself to hear things and to speak in new ways as communication is changing over Mercury retrograde. And I get the sense that once you release these things that aren't serving you, and once you connect in and just rather than being feeling like a sense of being stripped of your pride, I want you to be proud of the new you that you're actually creating. Proud of the you that is actually like coming out of the phoenix fire. Proud of you being able to be freer and to be more creative and to be more expansive and to be more open in the relationships that you have, and to be more musical and to be whatever it is that you want. So I want you to switch the whole sense of feeling like I was too proud to let go of stuff that wasn't serving me, and too proud to let people know that they were right and I was wrong. And I want you to be proud of now who you're becoming as you go through this next transition, as you go into spring, and as you create and cultivate the relationships that you know you desire and you know you deserve. So I'm going to call in a couple more cards. I usually pull 4 cards, one based on the physical body, one based on mental, one based on emotional, and one spiritual card. So I don't necessarily think that we need all 4 of those, but let's see what comes through. Reaching out. So on a physical nature, I get the sense that you have probably been hibernating, and that you've sort of been in your head, and maybe you have been feeling overwhelmed and anxious, and that it's actually time for you to reach out to other people in a different way or in a new way. And that once you do that, you're going to feel that this sense of, or lack of pride, or this sense of I'm too proud to ask for help, or I'm too proud to agree with other people that these are the reasons, or whatever it is. But I get the sense that you're going to feel relief by releasing some of this and by stepping into a new place. But I get the sense that you actually need to reach out. You need to physically do stuff. You need to expand your reach, expand your ability to communicate, maybe connect with different people. So if you've been spending time over the winter with the same people who have the same problems, who are gossiping about the same things, then it's time for you to shift that and to reach out to a different crowd, to reach out to do different things. And this also makes me think reach out to yourself in a different way, because Jupiter is calling us to go within. Reaching out for you could be about cultivating new confidence within. So reaching out from a place of I'm powerful, reaching out from a place of I'm empowered, reaching out from a place of I am a new me. So on a physical level, you're actually standing taller. You're actually allowing yourself to dress even more different than what you have been, or to expand and reach out of your own shell and your own hibernation in a totally new way. Let's see where your mental thoughts and patterns have been. If there's guidance that comes in. Usually the thoughts that we keep thinking create our beliefs, and then our beliefs just get reinforced because we're expecting our beliefs to be true, because that's our subjective truth about the world. I get the sense that if you're not ready to release, and if you're not ready to reach out, and if you're not ready to step into your confidence in a new way, and if you're not ready to celebrate things and to begin anew in new ways, that you're not going to shine as well as you could if you heal these things that are now ready to be healed. So the shining that you want to do, the sense of being on stage, the sense of people connecting with you and communicating with you, and the sense of success and recognition and abundance that you desire and that you deserve and that you're worthy of, you're not going to allow yourself to move into that place of shining until you heal some of those things from the past. And a really cool thing about this is that it's also the number 19. So the number 1 and the number 9 are both important for you. And when we add 9 and 1 together and get 10, that's all about new beginnings. And so releasing your sense of pride and being proud of who you are, and then allowing yourself to step into your confidence as you're reaching out to different people and you're reaching out to your confidence within you, and then that is going to allow you to shine. So different thoughts and different beliefs have been keeping you from shining. Release those old thoughts and release those old beliefs and allow yourself to reprogram new ones, because that is what is going to allow you to shine. And you deserve to shine, totally. You deserve to be confident, to be empowered, to be the center of attention, to be seen and recognized and successful and abundant for all of these great gifts that you have, and allowing yourself to step into that place where I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of who I'm becoming, and the things from my past maybe have been keeping me stuck, but now you're releasing them and you're feeling this release and this relief of being released of those old things. And that's going to allow you to be proud of who you are. And once you're proud of who you are and you're reaching out to a crowd that actually allows you to feel empowered, that you're going to shine. How cool is that? Let's see what emotions are coming up for you. When I think of your sign, I tend to think avoidance. I tend to think overwhelm. Oh, interesting. This card just came up for Cancer as well. So I get the sense that it came up in reverse. So I don't get the sense that it has the same meaning as it did for Cancer. I get the sense that emotionally you have been detached because of your past. And when you are staying attached to your past, that has been preventing you from shining. And you deserve to shine. And so can you detach from your past? Can you send healing and love and forgiveness to your past? Can you allow bygones to be bygones? Can you get out of your head and connect in an emotional way to what I have been feeling and experiencing has served me, but now in order to shine, I actually need to detach from those old emotions and detach from those old relationships and detach from all those old patterns and send the healing back and send the love back and know that that all served me. But if I want to step into my future and I want to emotionally connect with people on a different level and I want to shine, that I need to detach from the past in order to allow me to attach to the things that I want in my future. I almost feel anxious telling you that. So I feel it in my solar plexus. I feel like a crunching. I almost feel like you wanting to sort of curl up in the fetal position when I talk about that, which is interesting because this woman is totally wide open through her heart, and she's totally wide open. So she's allowing herself to shine and connect to her source, and to feel like she's like a fiery redhead connected to the whole world and shining and just being in herself and being and thriving and doing. But I get the sense that that doesn't happen on a mental or a logical or thought pattern unless you're actually allowing yourself to detach from the emotions of the past as well. If there's been a lot of heartbreak, if there's been a lot of old patterns that never served you, if there's been a lot of you, how do I say this? I get the sense that in relationships, there's been a lot of comparison-itis and a lot of I want this, so I'm willing to give up that. I'm willing to give up that and that and that in order to get this. I'm willing to do this and this and this in order to get that. And I get the sense that you really need to detach doing that from your past, because you deserve it all. You don't deserve to be treated like crap, and you don't deserve to relive your past, and you don't deserve to be overwhelmed and afraid of what's going to happen in your future. You deserve to shine. You deserve to send love and healing into your past so that you're not connected with that, so that you can actually shine into your future. But that does mean that it's time to connect with the emotions and do the severing of the past. So if for some reason old relationships have been serving you and you've been not wanting to detach from them, then this Mercury retrograde is going to help you to detach from those things and know that those old patterns and those old relationships and those thoughts and beliefs and those emotions did serve you, but they don't anymore. So allowing yourself to detach from any hurt, any loneliness, any expectation, any obligation, any guilt, any resistance, any sense of unworthiness or undeservingness or having to give up this to get that. Why can't you just ask for it all? You can. So allow yourself to reach out in a different way, to step into your confidence in a different way, to be proud of who you are, to be proud of who you're becoming, to release any pride about people saying, oh, you should have done that a long time ago, we told you this, or we told you that, or you should have gotten rid of this person, or this relationship you stayed in way too long, or why didn't you keep this person, or whatever. So release a sense of that. Release the sense of I don't want to shine, because then people will see me and they'll see who I truly am, and I don't want to hear this and I don't want to do that and I don't want to conform. Just step into who you are, step into what you want, allow yourself to be that fiery person that you know you are. Detach from any of the old thoughts, any of the old relationships, any of the old patterns, connecting to your heart about what you really want, and allow other people to do the same. So if you've been trying to control the things around you and feeling that the people aren't right or the situations aren't right, then that's more so about a mirror for you and how you are seeing things in other people. And bring that mirror back onto yourself to say, okay, so if I'm seeing this in other people and I'm experiencing this in other people and I'm controlling it in the people around me, then it's based on my own emotions. It's based on what I'm feeling overwhelmed by, or what I'm afraid of, or what I'm anxious of. So allow yourself to detach from those so that you can really move into this new time frame after Mercury goes direct, which will be the middle of April or the first week in April. And so allowing yourself to just heal what it is that comes up, heal what is happening, allow yourself to expand, allow yourself to change in any way that feels right and good for you now. Well, the hair on my arms is standing up there. It's like you kind of needed permission to change. Like maybe you didn't have the permission before. You weren't giving yourself the permission because you were feeling like if you allowed yourself to change, then you would be losing some of the past, or you weren't worthy or deserving of the future you want to create, or the abundance that you want to bring in, or the relationships that you desire. So give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to accept more, to accept it all, to release any control, and know that when you do, that you're actually going to shine and you're going to be able to reach out in a brand new way. And that's going to allow you to be proud of you, and then other people are going to also be proud of you, and that's going to feel really good. I'm calling in what Spirit wants to say. Yes, that's what I thought. So I get the sense with you, Aquarius, that a lot of this has to do with love, not necessarily in a partnership, but certainly inclusive of a partnership. So I get the sense that love for you comes in conditional and unconditional ways, and that you have been conditioning certain things about love, or you've been stuck in the past when it comes to love, or you've experienced deep love and then it was deep loss, and then you have comparison-itis, where you compare things that have been going on in the past with what you want in the now, what you're attempting to create into the future, and that's sort of been holding you back, like that parachute sensation where you're in that CrossFit class and the parachute has been holding you back from what you desire. So reaching out in new ways, being proud of who you are, allowing yourself to shine regardless of what has happened in the past, regardless of your anxiety or your overwhelm, or those thoughts and patterns that have been going on in your head, and allowing yourself to go within and detaching from those old thoughts and patterns so that you can create what you want. And that Spirit is telling me that those things are going to create so much relief for you. It's going to feel so much better once you ditch those old patterns, and when you ditch those old thoughts and beliefs, and when you get rid of those emotions that are just not serving you anymore. Unconditional love in all our relationships, just like puppy dog love, like, you love your animal loves you unconditionally. You deserve that. You deserve that in all of your relationships. You deserve it in your relationship with yourself. You deserve to release anything that is not unconditional love. You deserve to accept unconditional love directly from Source. So if you've disconnected yourself from Source for some reason, know that Source already provides and shares unconditional love from you, that you don't need to get that from other people if you don't choose to, but it would be expansive for you to allow yourself to get it from everywhere, to get unconditional love from pets and from nature and from your friendships and from your family and from a partner. All of those things can create unconditional love for you. You need to be open to receive it. You need to be open to allow it. You need to be open to releasing the control against it, to releasing any of the anxiety or overwhelm that will bring you. But totally, I see that coming for you. I see you shining. I see you detaching from old patterns. I see you being really proud of how you've transitioned and changed and grown. And I see you reaching out within yourself to the world in a totally different way, from a confident way, from an empowered way, from moving into abundance, an abundance of love, abundance of health, abundance of money is all yours from that place of, I deserve this, I'm worthy of this. Boy, I'm really glad that I actually followed through with this finally and released all that old crap that I didn't need to carry anymore. So this is really, really going to be a great Mercury retrograde for you. And I get the sense that, yes, it might be a little bit of a struggle and it might not be the easiest thing for you to do over the next couple of weeks, but you're going to feel so relieved. and you're going to feel so loved and so abundant by the time this is done. So allow yourself to step into that. You absolutely, totally, and completely deserve it. Have a wonderful couple of weeks, Aquarius. I look forward to connecting with you soon. I will leave the information below if you want a private reading or if you want to connect in with me for any of my other services where I help you release stuff that happened through past generations on your mother's or father's side that you've carried through in your DNA. And I help release things through karmic patterns from the past as well. So any of those services, if you're interested, then I'll leave the details below. So namaste. Have a beautiful month, Aquarius. Thank you so much for your time and your energy.